allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Before the start of tonight's regular meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss two items of real estate, and the solicitor will report on those two discussions and our decisions, well, in due course.
Right.
All right. Again, any visitor comments or public comments? We had none before the start of the meeting, so I just want to reiterate that. We'll hold announcements for the public portion of this meeting to the end. Minutes approval. We have 3 minutes to approve, the first being budget work session from the 17th of October, 2017. Everyone's had a chance to look at them, I assume?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the October 17th budget work session minutes, or
Move
notes,
to
I should
approve.
say?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Abstain.
Abstain, thank you, noted. Mr. Toohill was not here. The next, the minutes from the regular meeting on the 17th of October, has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Any corrections or changes? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, and finally, the special meeting on October 30th, 2017. The minutes were presented. The meeting was at 2 o'clock. It was to decide one issue. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
Move to approve.
Second that.
Okay, thank you. I neglected to ask, any changes or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda, reports from the solicitor.
I will report on the two matters that were the subject of discussion at the executive session before this meeting for approximately 30 minutes. The two matters are, first, a real estate matter, and by way of background, the late Judge Ludwig in 1996, without being compensated by the township, granted a conservation easement to the township over approximately 23 acres at 35 Pine Run Road in the township. One of the provisions of that particular conservation easement was that he reserved the right to subdivide 2 acres from the parcel for the purpose of permitting a house to be built to serve one of his children. Judge Ludwig passed away about 18 months ago, and Tobias Ludwig has taken title to the property as a result of Judge Ludwig's will. He has contacted the township and indicated that he is not of a mind to want to construct the house or to subdivide 2 acres, so he's asked the township Board of Supervisors if you would agree to amend the conservation easement to remove the right to construct the house on 2 acres, thus leaving the entire acreage subject to the conservation easement except for the house that currently exists. Now, obviously, there's a benefit to the township, and you wonder why there's a benefit to Tobias Ludwig. And frankly, what the benefit is that he gets the benefit of a federal tax deduction for the value of giving up the lot. So I believe there's no negative consequence to the township. So if the board's inclined, appropriate motion would be to approve the amendment to the conservation easement and authorize your chairperson to sign same.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Questions, comments? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Thank you. That's
The second item was a matter of litigation which relates to the property we know as the Hammerstein location off of East Road. And on November, I believe it was 2016, the parties, including the township, the Hammerstein Group, the Doylestown Country Club, and the neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Malloy, entered into a settlement agreement that became a court order. And that settlement agreement provided on page 11, item number 8, that the Hammerstein Group had a period of 1 year from the approval of the stipulation to submit preliminary plans for the development of the site into a museum and for other purposes that were identified in the course of that stipulation. It also provided that the township during that 1 year period could not adopt any saldo or zoning ordinance amendments that would affect the ability of the applicant in the stipulation to do what they proposed to do. The applicant has, based on our general knowledge, has been out aggressively fundraising, but has not yet reached the goal. We received a request from his counsel, Mr. Van Louvenet, to extend that one-year period, an additional 1 year, so that we take it out from 2 years from the date of the stipulation, November of 2016. I had a conversation with Stephen Harris today, who represented the Malloys, who live next door at the Doylestown Country Club, who advised me that both of his clients, the Malloys and the Doylestown Country Club, had no objection to the extension for an additional 1 year. And in fact, he told me they had no objection to an additional year beyond that 1 year, but the only request was for this board for additional 1 year. So if you're inclined to agree to that, the appropriate thing to do would be to approve a motion extending that for a period of 1 year and authorizing me to sign the appropriate stipulation to do so.
All right. Anyone have any questions about the request?
No.
Anyone out there? Is there a motion to approve the request?
I'll make a motion. Oh, you want to make it, Ken?
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I'll make that motion to approve the extension.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
I'm noted, Mr. Tuhill's abstaining on the decision.
Just give me the stipulation when you get it.
Thank you. You're
So you're
welcome.
not staying?
Okay, anything else, Mr. Solicitor?
That's all I have at the moment, thank you.
Chief?
Nothing at this time.
Engineer?
Nothing new.
Director of Operations?
Quick memo regarding the Neshaminy Greenway Trail Phase 2, New Britain Township reimbursement agreement. I basically included a memo in the packet summarizing the project. This is a extension of the Greenway Trail through Beulah Cemetery to the New Britain train station. It passes through New Britain Township, New Britain Borough, and Doylestown Township. It's a joint project. It is a 50-50 DCNR grant and match, 50% from the municipalities, 50% from DCNR. At the beginning of the project, New Britain Township was going to do the work with their forces, with their funds, to pave in Beulah Cemetery. Due to circumstances, breaking of equipment and things, they needed to reach out, and we suggested that to find additional help. They reached out to the contractor who was awarded the project, that is James R. Kennedy Excavating and Paving, to do that work. Basically, they reached out, and this work is going to be done somewhat as a change order. And so basically this memo is to summarize that New Britain Township will reimburse Doylestown Township, because we are the project sponsor, in the amount of approximately $18,220.40 for that additional work. So it's just my recommendation that the board acknowledge that New Britain Township will reimburse Doylestown Township for the work in Beulah Cemetery by James R. Kennedy Paving Incorporated.
So, Kenny, but
Kenny,
we're not
that's Kenny.
out any money here.
No.
We're not. Is there a motion to approve the request for what is it, reimbursement?
For the modification
The
to the
modification
project.
reimbursement agreement to the modification
I'll
of
make
the
that
project.
motion.
Second that.
Any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
You okay with it?
I thought they did an excellent job out there. It turned out much better than I expected. Secretaries. Yeah, too.
For the record, Tom Kelso is saying they did an excellent job out there. Thank you, Mr.
Well, it's
Kelso.
our real first opportunity to work with you.
I'm just waiting for that door to open and somebody yell at me for not having you come to the microphone and identify yourself. So that's why I'm reiterating what you're saying to the microphone and all the people that are interested in listening to what we're doing here. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for saying that, Mr. Kelso. Manager. Oh, anything else, Mr. Tom Kelso?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Manager?
I just have one request. It's a training request from our Park and Recreation Director to attend two trainings that will take place in 2018. One is the National Recreation Parks Association Revenue Development and Management School. And the second one is the annual Pennsylvania Parks and Recreation Society. Because they require an overnight stay, they need the board's approval.
Well, one's a school.
Yes.
That goes
one
on
is
for
a school,
2 years.
Correct.
That's a little more than an overnight stay.
But that's the reason it comes before you when we make these requests. These are things that Karen feels will be very beneficial in her work with Parks and Recreation, being able to do the performance measures, sponsorship, things like that that she'll learn at the school, and of course that second year for the strategic planning and the data and analytics, which I know is something we're always looking at and everything.
Where's the Kalahari Resort? You mentioned
Kalahari's in the Poconos.
Oh, in the Poconos.
It's a new resort in the Poconos.
Is that the one that has like the animals?
It may have not been there.
Is this training different than anything else Karen has gone to? Is this something new for her?
The schools.
Actually, she went to the school once before many, many years ago. She went, and she really came back with a lot of great information, which she implemented into a lot of the programs and the program guides and things like that.
It wasn't the same.
It actually,
curriculum?
it was not the same curriculum. They offer a variety of curriculum. And so it's the same location. And of course, the meals are included and everything, but it's pretty intense for those 5 days that she's there and everything. So it's been very beneficial for her in the work she's done in her department, and would strongly recommend that we encourage that type of training.
Just so you know, she's not going to be here from March 11th through to March 30th, basically. This is all happening in March.
Correct. It does. She'll be back for a week,
2 days. A few days.
well, about 10 days, and then she goes again.
Okay. What do you guys think?
I think it's good that she does it, because when I read this is some really good subject matter. I think it was
about
very.
the school.
But the school, yeah. What I would ask that when she comes back, when she's done with it, that she comes back to the board and said, this is what I learned. A 10-minute review of the types of things that she can apply to everyday use.
Sure. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's going to be necessary, if we're talking about having a recreation facility that provides income, manage it like a business.
Right.
This is probably a good thing.
I agree. I think it's a good thing. I just want to hear what she's learned, that's all.
Well, all right, so let's do one at a time. You want to make a motion to approve the training with the school at Wheeling?
I'll make that motion to approve that first training, yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Was that a yes for you down there, Sean?
Sure is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now the next one is the annual PRPS conference, March 26th, a Park and Recreation Society conference, March 26th through the 30th at the Kalahari Resort. And she goes to this every year, and it's important for her industry and the connections that she makes and the information that is shared amongst the organizations. So,
I'll make the motion.
okay. So I just want everyone to understand that two separate events, two separate
Yep.
things, and two separate benefits. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right. Moving on. Now, is that everything for you?
Yes,
All right.
that is all I have.
There is a resignation of Carmen Rufino from the Dog Park Advisory Board. She moved away. There's an application from Donna Cawthorn to join the dog park. Now, Ms. Cawthorn, I know, has been attending the dog park, and I serve as liaison. I don't know any other applicants, and I would ask that the board consider appointing her without necessity of bringing her in to interview. Well, I will make that motion. And so if there's a second.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or considerations? All right.
Good.
All in favor of Dawn Cawthorn being appointed to the dog park? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right. Any other supervisor? You got anything, Sean?
I have none. Thank you.
Ken?
No, nothing tonight, no.
Right?
I just have a quick update on the Lower State Road trail, because people had been asking as of late. It looks done. it virtually is done, but it's not done, so,
It's not open. It's not done.
it's not technically open, but if you look at it every day, it looks pretty open. But no, it's not open. Do not use the trail until we dedicate it. And there's some curb cuts that we're putting in, that the state's putting in, and looks like it's just going to be delayed just a couple of weeks. But what are we saying, Stephanie? Like within
Probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll be sending out some information on a little dedication ceremony, and but I know that there have been a lot of questions about that. So
Okay. Are we going to wait till the spring, or are we going to do it in the winter?
I think we're gonna.
I think we're gonna.
I think we're gonna
I
try
think
and
we're gonna
brave
brave the elements, and
Yeah.
we're gonna, just like we did with 202 Park, we're gonna.
know there's
It'll be the
been-
coldest day of the year, and we will
There's
be
been
out there.
some anxious people in Teversol, and
Yes.
what we communicate to them, so.
Are they
if it's-
anxious or eager?
Yes.
Yes.
So if there's a change in schedule, because I know a schedule has been communicated to them, if there's a change, we need to make sure that gets out to them as soon as possible.
Dave is actually almost in daily contact with the president.
With
of-
Mr. Tice?
Yes, he's the president of their HOA, and he's in almost daily contact with him.
Okay.
And if Mr. Tice is able to share that information with the rest of the residents in that neighborhood, very helpful to.
Is there anything we can do to make sure it doesn't get delayed anymore? How do we make sure it stays?
I
To a
don't think
minimum.
that. I don't think it's going to be delayed. I mean, it's going to stay on track now. It was just.
Well, the date was the end of November.
Yeah, so it was a delay. It's really just curb cuts at this point is
Right.
essentially, and there was a delay in getting, what was it, approvals?
Yes, PennDOT approvals for
PennDOT
the ADA
approvals.
ramps.
You
Yes,
got
that was
them.
it.
So it's, all the approvals are done.
Okay.
That was the delay, the holdup.
And immediately the next day after the PennDOT approved the ADA ramps, as soon as those plans were approved, JDM, who's the contractor for PennDOT on the project, was out there doing the proper surveying and
Okay.
getting everything ready. So I'm hoping they will be out there shortly to pour the concrete and put the
Good,
domes in
okay.
and get everything set, and we should be ready.
So we
to-
talking by December 31st, we talking January?
December.
I'm thinking December.
Not
Yeah, it's-
days
Yeah.
in December.
I'm hoping it's
Yeah,
going to be
somebody has to
December.
create more days in December.
I know.
Okay.
Well, the
Oh,
formal
standing by.
dedication, the formal dedication we may have to push, but
Okay.
at least we'll have it open, and people can use it, and then we can always do our
A ribbon cutting at
cutting
some
and,
point.
yeah.
All right, sounds good. Good work. Thanks, Ryan. Before I go any further, I wish to introduce to the board and to everyone here and to the world listening that Eric Simon is with us. Eric Simon is 12 years old. He's goes to school, UNAMI, and he's here from Troop 48, and he's working on his citizenship badge. Is that right? I got it right? Do you need to say anything, Eric, in order to make sure that you do everything you have to do? No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to say anything, but he is here, and his mom is here. So welcome, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate you taking the time to do what you need to do. And we really congratulate you on your efforts to achieve equal, because I know you're going to get there. We're going to support that, okay? All right? And if you don't get there, somebody's going to come and find you and say, why not? All right, good luck, okay? Thank you. All right, next item on the agenda. There's no correspondence, there's no unfinished business, so we're moving on to new business, the budget presentation. We've all seen this budget a bunch of times. We saw the revision last meeting, or 2 meetings ago, and you were sent up to the date, the revised 2017 budget and the preliminary budget for 2018 with some red changes. And the proposed real estate tax millage rate for 2018. So what we're looking for now are any other comments or questions or changes to what has been sent or what you have looked at for the last several months. And if hearing none, then we'll entertain a motion to hang the budget for consideration by the public for the next 30 days.
Okay, would you like me to review our 17?
We have it.
Yes, you have it.
You don't need to read it to
So,
us.
okay.
If there's anything shocking or change-worthy or noteworthy, then say so.
There's nothing?
Yeah, the only comment I would like to make is that Yes, you're right, we have reviewed this many times before, and every year, we continually revise the process and make it better and better. So while there are things I'm sure that we can continually to improve upon, we keep scratching at it and clawing at it and trying to make it and looking in the details and to take a process that now we start in April and we continually to review 4 times, 5 times throughout the year, I think is quite remarkable for what we're doing when compared to what I read in the paper and what other townships are doing. So I think we have a very good, robust process. I like where we're at with the tax millage for 2018 and the way we look at 5-year plans and continually to push the managers that we need to be cautious and careful about what we ask for. So I'm very thankful for the staff and what they do. So I think it's a good process.
Yes, I agree with what you just said, and I can't thank the volunteers on the Ways and Means and you guys enough for keeping Doylestown Township not only fiscally sound, but, leaders in the process.
Yep.
I appreciate that. All right, so any other comments or any questions? Anybody out there? No? Is there a motion to hang the budget for 2018?
Start with the revised budget.
Oh, thank you. Motion to approve the revised budget for 2017.
Make that motion to approve the revised budget for 2017.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Good. And now, we'll consider a motion to hang the 2018 budget for the next 30 days for public comment.
Actually, it's 20 days, but that's
20
fine.
days, 20 days, thank you. I stand corrected. 20 days
I'll make that motion to hang the 2018 budget.
for 20 days.
For 20 days.
Only. Okay.
It'd be more than 20, but
Yeah.
I'll second
has to
Well-
be at least 20.
All right. For at least 20.
For at least
And there's
20.
a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, moving on then. There's a resolution presented by Pennsylvania Association of Township Supervisors recommending, or a proposed resolution that we prohibit in our community or in township the mini casinos that we've heard about on Action News and every other news station. But anyway, so you have the correspondence from Dave Sanko, who's the executive director of PSATS, and you have the proposed resolution. What is the feeling of the board on this? I know what my considerations are, but
A couple questions about this, and I couldn't find it. I don't know if it was in a PSATS article or in their description or in ours, but it was something about that if one of these casinos cannot open up if you're within 25 miles of an existing casino. Is that correct?
Yes.
So,
somewhere, I don't
and
know
the
where that
closest
is.
one is Ben Salem.
Right,
So if we're within 25 miles of Ben Salem,
right.
do we need to do anything?
Well, what if it closes down?
Well, the other thing that someone has mentioned to me is that invariably when out in Harrisburg, they're trying to raise money, you may not be able to rely on the 25-mile radius.
So that may change.
That may change, because then if they can issue more licenses, then the question remains, are you subjecting yourself to a mini casino? And so it's up to the board, but obviously you may not get another opportunity if you don't want to have any casinos in Doylestown.
So we're making a policy that is going to be relevant, well,
Well, you
in effect, we can withdraw
You
it
can
at some
change your
point.
minds.
Next board could change it if they want.
Right. That
But,
was my second question.
because it's not going to, we can't bind a future board
Right.
to this decision, but we can certainly.
Well, I'll make
do
the
what-
motion
do what
to
we
do
want.
it now while we're here. So,
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any public comment on this issue? We're banning mini casinos in Doylestown Township. Hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. Moving along. Eagle Scout proclamation this is where you're coming in there, Eric. This is going to be you in a couple of years. For Brandon Pullen, Troop 71. Is there a motion to approve the proclamation for young Brandon Pullen?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And Mr. Snyder is going to go to the Court of Honor and read the proclamation and make other comments as he deems appropriate. Thanks for doing that.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda, request to hook up to the public sewers on 33 Chestnut Valley Drive. And we have correspondence from the homeowner, Mr. Roberta Damon.
And Mr. Kelso is here
Oh,
too.
Mr. Kelso.
Mr. Kelso represents the homeowner, am I right?
You're correct. I'm Tom Kelso, I'm with Castle Valley Consultants representing Mrs. Damon, and her request is to connect her existing home, 33 Chestnut Valley Drive.
Okay.
As you recall, about a year ago, you approved the construction of a sewer line by her neighbor, and it was a force main that extended up the street about 500 feet. That was installed this spring, and this is the first request to connect onto that line.
Okay.
And that was approved by DEP
Okay.
and everything back then. So this is merely a neighbor along that line, same sort of issues that the Langs had who constructed the line. And as part of this, the Langs will go through a recapture process where they paid for the entirety of that force main going up the street. And now Mrs. Damon is the first one to connect onto that, so she'll share half that cost. And if somebody else connects on, then the cost gets split further, so.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the connection for the Damon property to the existing line?
Move to approve.
Second that.
Questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next, land development for the Central Bucks athletic fields. Now, I'm told these requests for.
This is just an
This is
extension.
the
Oh,
extension.
sorry, wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. This is
So
the
my-
extension request. Is there a motion to approve the extension?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, now, we'll get to their zoning request in a little bit. First, we're going to take the application of Denise Cezak. Cezak. Is that you? Oh, hi. Welcome. The Cezaks are in the audience. They live on 60 Westway Drive in Warrington. Madam Manager, what is your opinion about this?
I think this is a very simple request, side yard setback variance requested for the zoning hearing board to handle
Okay, without objection.
without objection.
Okay, so moved. Was that right?
You don't need to take any
No, I'm
action.
just so
Yeah.
moved. So they can just go to zoning hearing
Right.
board without worrying.
You have to
Okay,
take
we're
action,
good
you're going to oppose.
We're not going to oppose it. So you should be, but you still have to go to the zoning hearing board. Okay. All right, you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. It should be over. All right, go. We'll excuse you to go take care of said puppy. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Can we?
Sure.
Have a dog in here? Sure. They said yes. There's no food being served, so it's okay. He'll learn something. Bring him to the dog park. Join the dog park. Oh, yes, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, see? Oh, that's
All right, that's great. Well, thank you for coming, Mrs. Cezak. Good night. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you.
All right, next, the land zoning hearing board application of Jacobs at 28 Fox Hill.
This is a special exception for an in-law suite, and I would recommend that we leave this matter to the zoning hearing board as well.
Okay. And you're okay with Vera there, I mean, Karen representing Mom and Mom being in
Yes.
Florida? And I don't have anything wrong by that. Okay. So noted. And now the final is the Central Bucks School District for the fields in Doylestown Township. Now, this one looked really meaty to me, but I'm told that these are minor variance requests and actually just cleaning up the property and athletics fields as they exist now.
Yes.
So I consulted with the manager ahead of time, and she thinks that this is something that's minor and all is already looked at by the planning commission and is good to go to the zoning hearing board without objection. Okay? Everyone okay? In agreement?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, next item on the agenda is the treasurer's report for November 21st, 2017. Everyone had the chance to look at it. It was sent to you electronically.
Yep.
Any questions?
Nope.
Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Move to approve.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And similarly, the bills list sent electronically for November 21st. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions or concerns I needed to ask?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, announcements, public announcements. Next meeting of this board is Tuesday, November 5th at 4 p.m. Doylestown Township leaf and yard waste recycling drop-off is every third Saturday of the month from March to December, 9 a.m. to 11. The location is the New Britain Road, access to Central Park. You can purchase discount movie tickets from our administrative offices. The Doylestown Township Park and Rec, in partnership with Premier World Discovery, is offering 2 trips in 2018, Great Trains and Great Canyons, and the Treasures of Ireland. Please contact our administrative offices for further information. Bicentennial Committee is hosting the gala on January 6th at Doylestown Country Club. Tickets are $75. When there's no fluff in that, that's for a good meal. We're going to pay extra for the band. So please get your tickets early. There are only 200. Notice, 200 years, only 200 for sale. Gift giving ideas, including the gala tickets, movie tickets, ski tickets, bicentennial gifts, trees, bricks, Mercer tiles, and clothing, park and recreation gift certificates for programs, benches, and mural prints. We are going to be closed this Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving. And in fact, the office might even close early tomorrow, so everyone be aware of that as well. Any other business? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Thank you back there.
We do have documents to be signed.
Documents to be
All righty.
Okay, Jen. 2 meetings to go.